in the city council room. All members of the council are present. Mr. Vashon is joining us remotely this evening. Others present include James Johnson, clerk treasurer, and Laura Dogan, our city manager. The next item is to approve the minutes of January 9th, 2023, not 22 on the agenda, but 23.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion we approve the council minutes of 9 January 2023.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Wilson, second by Ms. Patterson. Discussion on the minutes. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Next item is comments by members of the public. We have Ann Shirlow, and the topic is budget problems.
I should have written continued. The last place we left off, we were talking about the fact that a budget has to balance, and in order to balance the budget for the last 3 years, $400,000 that you were not expecting in income was just simply added to income to balance the 1.8 million in expenses you had. Now, all of us know about budgets. You can either increase your income legitimately, or you can decrease your expenses and your budget might balance. And you have a fantastic way of decreasing the expenses in the sewerage budget, and that is to shift all of the illegal shifts that happened from the regular general fund for the portions of the salaries that were in there back over to the general fund where they belong, and not in water and sewerage. And the only time, by the way, that there's any documentation presented to us so far of any of these shifts was in 2010, and I've given you a copy of it, which you probably already have, when John Ward, who was city manager at the time, came and asked that his salary be shifted. At that time, nobody on the council asked why is it 60%. That was just assumed as accurate. And 3 of the city councilmen voted for it. I've attached the minutes of that meeting, and I've listened to the audio tape of that meeting, and there was one dissent. John Wilson, at that time, said, all this is going to do is it's going to cause the water and sewer rates to go up. You're probably doing it not only just for putting the money in to streets, but because you might get a grant if the water and sewer rates are high enough. And he said he opposed the shifting of the salary of the city manager at 60% rate over into water and sewerage. That's the only time there's been a vote.
Your time is up. Your time is up. No, your time is up.
Ever after
Your
you
time
guys...
is up. I gave you 2.5 minutes. Your time is up.
Well, it'll be continued.
Thank you.
No problem. See you next time.
Moving on. The next item is the Newport ambulance contract. We have Jeff Johansson, and there were some questions raised at the last meeting regarding some of the language in the contract.
Brought a new contract, so I
You
corrected.
could grab a chair, sorry, I'm moving it up, sorry.
I don't mind. I'll steal that one from you.
Don't need to be a rude hostess.
So I corrected the date that we had, that was 2022 for Mr. Wilson. And then I know there was some verbiage in there for exclusively. So I did some research and talked to one of my board members who has been on for many, many years, and this is before my time. So part of the exclusively is Newport City gave the land that the ambulance building was built on. So with that, there was exclusively for Newport ambulance. So that is not in the other
Okay.
contracts.
Thank you. I
Yep.
appreciate that.
So,
Easy answer.
It was,
Thank
yep,
you.
it took me a little while,
Time
because that was
flies. Well,
before,
it's institutional
you know, it was
history, yeah.
31 years ago or something,
Yeah.
yep.
Thanks, I
So,
appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Any other questions based
No.
upon that? I
Is this the
think
original? Yeah.
that would be the original.
Yeah, those are both originals.
Okay,
One for you guys and one for us.
all right. So with that, we would need a motion to approve the entering into the contract.
I'll move to enter the contract with, it's not Newport Ambulance, it's,
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is Newport
okay.
ambulance, yep.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Ms. Pedersen, seconded by Mr. Wilson. Discussion? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Chris.
I think Chris said aye on the phone. Chris, did you say aye?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, that's what I thought, okay. Then the motion carries. I will sign this and can give it right back to you, because we
Okay.
have two of them.
Yep, there's one for you guys and one for
so I
us.
have to drag you back in again.
Okay, no worries.
Sign this one first and then make sure. I can give that one to you. I'll sign this one for us.
Thank you guys.
You can leave it there.
Okay.
Thank you.
And give that to Laura. Thank you. Next, we have the hazard mitigation plan presentation of Paul Luciano of OPH Consulting. I believe he's joining us remotely.
Right there, yeah.
Yes. Hello, everybody. It was time to update the city's hazard mitigation plan, and we went through that update process. I do have a PowerPoint. I'm happy to present it, but I will give you first a brief overview. And if at that time you want to see the PowerPoint, I'm happy to pull it up. In order to get an approved plan, I first have to submit to the state, who is now serving as a quasi-FEMA review team, before it goes to FEMA for final approval. So we have jumped through that hoop and passed muster, so to speak, and we do have approval pending adoption. The update's purpose is to really just review the natural hazards, the hazards that the city has, historically had issues with, and make any changes based on the last 5 years. And so for this planning cycle, which is the next 5 years, we're going to keep infectious disease in there. I think that's safe for a lot of communities right now, but also extreme heat and drought, and largely due to the work of NVDA and the health department. The Northeast Kingdom, especially, Newport City, is a pretty high-risk area for health conditions related to extreme heat, so we thought we would include that. And NVDA, there was kind of a sub-planning team, and they put together some great resources to make it easy, to make some steps and some planning steps in the next 5 years. But ultimately, the city's doing a great job. Public Works is doing a great job. And any action items, mitigation actions related to infrastructure, nothing was reinvented. It's all just referring to the capital improvement plan. I think that's great. And it spells out, there's really no change in the goals or the implementation strategy moving forward. I can take questions, pull up the PowerPoint, anything you'd like.
The council would you like to see the PowerPoint? But you can.
It's up to you. I think, Paul, can you pull up the PowerPoint from where you are?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Just because it'll give a chance for people in the audience to see some of the more of the information.
Okay.
Presenting, yeah.
Just has to make it really big.
So I'll just, I'll cruise through these. I won't read verbatim, but there hasn't really, one of the key things is that a change in vulnerability. Not too many communities have a significant change in vulnerability, and Newport City is in that category as well. Obviously, the pandemic brought many issues to the table, in addition to lessons learned. Maybe not related to natural hazards, quote unquote, but infectious disease is included in the state plan, and the economic impact and the health impact are certainly many lessons learned there. Again, the third bullet there, I already mentioned that we're including extreme heat. And the fourth bullet, I also, you're doing a great job, so kudos again. And then I think the last bullet's important in that ensuring the collaborative effort to sustain and build awareness in areas that require others at the table is a very common theme in other communities. And I think it holds true for the city as well and provides an opportunity for enhanced collaboration and communication moving forward. I think that's something, every municipal and state government can make provisions for and improve a little bit. And again, this is a little bit reiteration. So we looked at the state mitigation plan, what's being profiled there, and their criteria and how they went about that. And then I have my own qualitative criteria, and we're right on track. So it's for the most part, most communities are looking at. Here's our updated profile hazards: severe winter, ice storm, flooding, fluvial erosion, extreme hot and cold temperatures, droughts included with extreme heat, and then pandemic, infectious disease. A lot of communities include high wind, but there's really, everyone's doing the best they can with, keeping the trees trimmed around power lines, which is the major issue. So there's really not much to add there, so that fell off. I don't want to read through these, but these are the goals for the next planning cycle, and I apologize, 2022 is when it went in, but you won't have final approval till 2023, so it'll be 2023 to 2028. And there's really no change, but the draft will be available for the community as any plan to review. And just to summarize this is just keeping mitigation on the radar, incorporating into zoning, which you already had, and having the flood regulations, which you do, and then looking at any financial losses. There aren't repetitive loss properties in the town, and those are properties that sustain flood damage or other natural hazard damage, mostly flooding, with regularity. And in those cases, when there is a property like that, FEMA has a program where the municipality can do a buyout and basically just turn that into park. So, because FEMA doesn't want to keep paying for damaged properties related to flooding. And then, just keep an eye on what's going on and make changes accordingly. And that's really, the very succinct version of what these goals are stating. And then there really is a strong emphasis on, the approval of these plans and how it's going to be incorporated. How is it going to stay on the radar? And these last two bullets, as wordy as they are, really get to that. And just making sure that somebody's in charge and looking at it yearly, and basically functioning like what the Public Works is doing with their capital improvement plan. Again, suspend these two bullets. And here are 5 actions. Now there's subcategories within the plan, but these are the 5 titles of the actions. First one related to flooding and infrastructure, and with the hope to reduce vulnerability by evaluating capabilities of existing road and stormwater management infrastructure, public education through municipal services and regulation. Number 2, improve resilience to severe winter storms. Again, there's bullets under this everywhere from just keeping your plowing equipment, functioning to helping, looking at some areas where people could get cut off and things like that. Reducing impact of extreme heat. That should be heat, I apologize. Extreme hot and cold temperatures, so we're good there. Including drought, and working with the health department to reduce the health consequences of extreme heat. Interestingly enough, the way they rate this is tree cover. Areas without a lot of tree cover are at greater risk of the health consequences associated with extreme heat. Number 4, raise public awareness of hazards and hazard mitigation actions. A lot of this is already being done with just fire programs, EMS outreach, and things of that nature. And then reduce the risk and impact of a pandemic or infectious disease. And those are our 5 actions. Again, any questions?
Does the council have any questions? No. Then okay. The only thing, if we adopt this tonight, we have to change the cover page. We have to make it 23, like you said.
Yeah,
Yep.
I have it in a Word document.
You have it in a Word document, okay. Well, then, I guess if there's no questions, we will need a motion to approve the hazard mitigation plan.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
A motion made by Mr. Charbonneau. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Pedersen. Discussion? Then all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. I just wanna thank you, Mr. Luciano, for all the work that you put into this plan. It takes a lot to coordinate everybody and a lot of data, compilation and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to send that thank you to you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. My pleasure. And just a quick conclusion, once that's signed, Laura, if you just send it to me, I can insert it in the plan and then give it back to the state to FEMA for final approval.
Okay, you'll have it tomorrow, Paul.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you, thank you.
Thank you. Everybody, have a great night.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
So we need to sign this page, Laura, but we need to have it cleaned up, I think. Because there's a signature page.
Go ahead and sign the signature page if you don't mind. I think between PDF and, I think I'll be able to insert that.
Okay,
Yeah, and if I can't, I will definitely let you know.
okay, so let me just tear this off carefully then. Oh well, it's gonna be a little, not the greatest, but. I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna write right now so they know to make sure. Right, it'll be, I won't forget. What do you want?
Next. Jim?
Jim can attest it.
Chris, wanna come in and sign it or not?
Yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Moving on, Mr. Johnson, new business.
Yeah, I've got one application for a vendor's permit, some cans, lunch box. They wanna do city events and in the farmer's market area, except for Wednesdays and Saturdays, right, Mike? That's right. Yeah. We paid the fee, they got the insurance. She's had them before. Need a motion to approve that.
Need a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Charbonneau, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson, discussion? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, motion carries. Any other new business?
No,
Mr. Charbonneau?
No.
Mr. Wilson?
No.
I don't have anything. Mr. Vashon, do you have any new business?
No, thank you.
Ms. Dogan?
No, thank you.
Okay. Old business, Mr. Johnson.
yeah, Laura, did you get that in the Sunset Bank rates? Did the council get that?
No. No, I didn't have that.
Okay, so, you know, the, asking the authorizer to borrow money for the EPA thing at Gardner Park, in Brownsfield. The excavation over there for the playground.
Yeah.
And so, the 5-year fixed rate is 3.93 and the 10-year is 4.29. I've got it in there for 5 years, so, I need to change that, I need to know now.
What's the rates again?
For 5 years, it's 3.93. 10 years, it's 4.29. And it's a 315,000.
So we need to, we need to approve the loan?
Yeah. You wanna take a loan out to do that over there,
Okay.
instead of turn it over to a third party and,
Right, all that stuff, yeah, yeah. So I'm not sure how to word that, so we need a motion to approve the loan from Sunset Bank?
well, I just want you to,
Oh,
yeah, I think you already approved to put it on the
Okay.
ballot.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm just telling you what the rate's gonna be.
It's gonna go on the
You
ballot.
decide you want it 5 years or 10.
oh, okay, so I moved for 5 years.
Okay.
Motion made for 5 years.
Second.
Seconded, made by Ms. Pedersen, second by Mr. Wilson. Discussion?
Do we know what the payment would be?
It's gonna be
With the interest?
20, I can figure it out.
For anyone who may not know, this was related to the Gardner Park cleanup and remediation. The council chose not to go the route of turning over the park to a third party forever. It chose to decide that it was better to keep the park under city ownership and to, well, put it on the ballot to borrow the money to pay for it. This is to clean up where the playground splash pad are to go. And so, that's what this is about.
80,000 a year or something?
Yeah, it's just be about, this is $5,200 a year, I can't get it.
52,000.
No.
Hmm.
Wait a minute, I got a wrong number. Don't take that, don't take that as my word.
52 times 5.
No, 63,700, a little about 64,000.
Okay,
Sorry.
so we have a motion,
Yeah.
Ms. Sherrill?
we haven't voted yet.
I'm allowed to ask a question before the vote.
The council is voting.
Yeah, and I would like to ask a question.
We
We
usually,
usually have a motion and then a second, and then I'm allowed to
Oh.
ask a question.
all right, go ahead.
I wanted to know, because you said it that way, is it true then that you would not have to pay for the cleanup if you did not decide to put a splash pad there, but instead put another wonderful kind of recreational facility there?
No, we have to clean it because it's been identified. It has to be cleaned up because it's been identified.
Fine.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Vashon, ayes have it. Any other new business, Mr. Johnson? Oh, no, that was old business.
No, that's all I got.
Any old business?
Thank you.
Mr. Wilson?
None.
Any old business?
Yeah, I do. I think the council needs to consider replacing me on the Public Works negotiation team, since negotiations haven't started yet. They won't start until like Thursday. And I'm not 100% sure, timeline, it will be done by the time I'm done. And I don't think it's a good idea to change horses midstream. So I'm just putting it out there that you may want to take somebody who's going to be serving after March, whatever town meeting day is, to be on that committee. So it's not, this doesn't disrupt the negotiation process.
Don't look at me, it's
No,
certainly not
I-
gonna be me.
We can probably wait. I think we'll be okay,
Okay,
but I think
yeah.
we'll make a note of that.
Apologize for the disruption, but I just don't think it's, just my opinion, I don't think it's good, to switch horses.
Any other old business?
Nope.
No? Any, Mr. Vashon? Any old business?
No, thank you.
I got one thing.
Okay.
I basically got the warning ready, but I was waiting for school figures. I had the original figures, but there's a bill in the house that may affect the numbers, so I gotta, get it to me as soon as they can, as soon as they pass it. But they know I've got to have it, so we have a special meeting before the 5th of February, because I gotta warn it by the 5th.
By the 5th.
That's all.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, just a housekeeping for me, if I may. Is the school board gonna come and present to you this year?
They're coming February 6th.
Is it
Yeah.
February 6th?
Yeah.
Okay.
And may I have a copy of the article for the warning for the, that you just signed, or is it on the website, or?
I haven't even brought it to them yet.
He hasn't even brought
It
the
may
article.
change for the school, so I haven't done anything.
No, he wanted a copy of the article for the loan for the.
Oh, the
for-
loan?
For the
Yeah, yeah, I
EPA
can do
cleanup.
Okay, could I have one
You
now?
don't have a copy. He only asked for because he hasn't finalized it. He was
Okay.
asking for a 10-year or a 5-year. So
Okay.
now he's gotta word the article, right, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah.
Based upon what we just voted on for the length of time.
So if I call tomorrow?
Don't look at me, it's up to him.
No, I know, but
You call me tomorrow. and I-
I'm sorry?
You call me tomorrow and
Okay.
get you the wording.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Did you have any old business?
No, thank you.
Okay. The next meeting will be Monday, February 6th, 6:30 PM here in the council room. And now we need a motion to adjourn at 7:02.
I'll make that